Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out the video, checking out the channel. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a collective reading and it is timeless. So whenever you come across this video, however and whenever you find it, it is the right time for you to be getting this message specifically. So if you feel so inclined to like and or subscribe to the video and channel, if you haven't already done so, I don't get any money from these videos. This will never be a monetized channel, but it does help the YouTube algorithm, help other people find these videos and find the channel, just like you did. It is the reason why I am here, is for you. So we have just started a new deck. We just started this yesterday, although this is a timeless reading again, but we do live in a temporal reality. This is the Oracle deck of the Enchanted Map, and that's by Colette Baron-Reid. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing illustrations so far. I've just looked at the one so far, but today's card is card number 35, Education. And before we look in the book and find out what the actual reading is, I just want to get the messages that are coming through directly from the image of the card itself to us. We have asked for clarification or guidance on something we've been recently dealing with, or it's going to come up very soon in the near future, or it's happening currently right now. And these cards are all basically, it's exploring our inner journey, exploring our inner selves, and inviting us to find new ways of looking at things. And I find that very, very important for this card today, card number 35, Education. And we know 3 plus 5 reduces down to an 8, which is the symbol for infinity. So this is going to be one of those infinite energy cards. And obviously, we are constantly being educated. We are constantly learning new things. Our brains never stop processing information unless we're dead, in which case our spirit just continues doing it, right? So we know this to be true. We are always in the school of life, as it were, right? And I also want to just mention just the images themselves. So again, we've got, I believe this is the waning moon crescent up in the upper left hand corner. You guys correct me if I am wrong, please. And very much an overcast kind of background, right? Cloud cover over her. Looks like she is at maybe an ocean side, little seaside. I see a crane, and those are obviously birds that represent wisdom, cosmic information, divine downloads, very, very strong medicine in the Chinese traditional philosophies and religions for those, for herons specifically, or stork. It could be one or the other, and I apologize if I get those wrong. I'm not a bird expert, so I do my best with what I have in my head. I also noticed that her skirt looks very much like the rocks that she's sitting on, very much blending into the environment. Not at this time. This is not a time to be standing out from the environment. This is the time to be absorbing and taking in information, new information specifically. I also get the feeling she's getting this information from the book that she's holding on her lap. But you see this little sprite coming out from the book. It's almost like the connection with her higher self, and she's getting this information directly from her higher self, represented with this little sprite. I don't know. I haven't looked in the book. Could be completely different than what I'm reading from the image, but that's what I'm getting from this card directly in terms of the image itself. I do want to go on a little bit of a rant. I'm going to give you guys a heads up, because I've actually been looking at this card for almost an hour this morning before I started recording this video. None of these are ever scripted. It's all literally whatever I'm channeling from higher self, God, universe, source, whatever I can get for you guys directly. Okay? Education. The idea of education. And I've been feeling this sense of needing to have this conversation with you as well recently, very strongly. And this is where the rant thing comes in. Talking about education, we are thinking about what information we are putting into our brains, what we are exposing ourselves to. And I know the majority of people in the world who have this available to them will be watching various news sources for various kinds of updates on what's happening in the world around us. There's a few things that I want to say about that, and it's not going to be a popular message, so if you want to click off, that's fine. I encourage you to stick around, though, because it's important, and it's all information that you know. It's just not information that people are talking about. They're not saying it out loud, and it needs to be spoken out loud. We know that words have power. We know that my words, as they are coming across to you, have a vibration, and they have a meaning beyond the actual physical words themselves. The sounds have a specific energy to them. Information that's coming from various news sources, news channels, whether it's on the television or from satellite or from YouTube or various other platforms, are going to have one thing in mind, really, just one thing in mind. And that they have one goal, one specific goal, and everything else is built around that. And it's not to give you information. That is not their goal. I don't care which news source you get it from. I personally like News Nation on the YouTube channels that are available. But again, they have the same, they're doing the same thing. They're just being more kind about it. All news channels, all news agencies have expenses. They have shareholders. They have employees. They are in it to make money. That's it. That's the only reason why those stations exist. Newspapers, magazines, I don't care what the platform is. I don't care what the source is. I don't care what the information is. It is not new. You are not getting news. No matter what they are calling it, it's not new information. It's history. It's stuff that's already happened. It may have happened 5 minutes before, or 5 days before, or 5 years before. Doesn't matter. It's all history. It's nothing that has anything to do with us, the majority of us, unless we are actually living in that moment, in that space where people are broadcasting. So, for example, you may be in Ukraine, you may be in Palestine, you may be in a number of other places around the world where conflict is going on, when people are trying to hurt each other for some kind of purpose that a lot of times is known only to themselves, never to any of us. Just stop. Turn off that crap. It's not doing you any good. It's not giving you any information that is helpful at all. There is nothing that you can do about the war in Ukraine from where you sit watching that news show right now. No matter how angry you get, no matter how sad you are, no matter how strong your emotions might be, you're not having any effect except feeding that energy of terror, of war, of pain, of sorrow. That's all you're doing with your depression, with your anger, with your frustration, with your bitterness, with your outrage. Those emotions match what's happening, and you're feeding it. So turn it off. Education. What is the information that we're actually putting into our minds? What we are putting into our emotions? What we are putting into our spirit? And what we are putting into our physical bodies? Okay? If you want to help those war situations, turn off the news and meditate. What would peace look like in that space? What would peace look like If there was no conflict going on, people would be communicating. They would be having conversations. They would be working together. They would be problem solving. They would be making money. They would be building new buildings and repairing roads and helping other people and living in integrity and showing other people how to be profitable, how to be productive, because it's all benefiting everybody. That's what peace looks like. So if it doesn't look like that, it's not peace. If that's not the message you're getting, that's not the message you want, because that's the message we need to be broadcasting 24/7, 365. What does peace look like? What does peace look like in your life personally? What does peace look like in your family, in your relationship, in your work? What does peace look like within you? That's what we need to be paying attention to. That's our business. That's the reason why we're here. And that's the education that we want, is we want to get more of that information. We want to find out how to be even stronger in our own integrity, how we can be even more courageous in our path. That's our education. That's the information that's going to come from divine sources, not from news broadcasts, from divine sources. So that's the end of the rant. Let's take a look in the book and find out what the message is for this card. And again, you and I are reading this together for the first time right now. Here we go. 35, education. Life is filled with lessons. Be teachable. Wisdom comes from participating in life, not just reading about it. This card suggests that you might not have enough knowledge about what you seek, the direction to take, your circumstances, or the nature of your inquiry. Important information is coming. Now is the time to go to school. Ask a person who might know more than you do, or find a teacher or a course of study so that you can more clearly understand what the next right action must be. Sometimes life unexpectedly sends you to an unfamiliar school, and you must learn by experience. Now is a time to be teachable, open to changing your preconceived notions. Be a student and be willing to state the most powerful mantra of all. I don't know yet. Well, that's a very powerful statement as well. The two things I just also want to mention, getting information, getting valid information. I'm broadcasting from the United States, and we are going to have elections coming up, big national elections coming up. I'm not looking for information about how I choose to vote from any news sources externally. Okay? I am simply, again, focusing on peace, focusing on what would I want my elected official leaders to be doing? How would I want them to be acting? What kind of words would I want to be hearing them say? What kind of actions are they going to be promoting? What kind of programs are they going to be working on? Those are the things that I want to be paying attention to through this election cycle. What's the kind of elected leader I want? Those are the energy signatures I want to be putting out, and I want you to be putting out as well. If you're in any country where there's elections going on, be mindful of where you're getting your information. Be very, very careful that you're not getting it from a source that has an ulterior motive. So now is the time to go to school. Ask a person who might know more than you, or find a teacher or course of study so you can more clearly understand what the next right action must be. Remember our most powerful mantra of all, I don't know yet. So there we go. It's going to be an amazing day for you. I am excited for these opportunities to get good information to get more absolutely divine downloads straight from God, universe, higher source, ancestors, spiritual guides, all of those are what we want to be connected to. Those are what we want to be getting input and feedback from, and mentors that are doing the same thing. That's the reading that we've got for today. I do hope that that resonated with you. Feel free to leave your comments. I love hearing from you guys. If there's anything that we can be sending you healing, encouragement for, and you want to put any details in on the comments, again, feel free to do that. This is your space to do with as you see fit. Okay? I love you. Have the most amazing day. Namaste and ciao for now.